Darlings, we are back for another recap ish, commentary ish. I don't know. Anywho, so like I said in the previous video with Leo and Brittany, I'm not really doing a play by play, just like quick commentary on the couples or couples to be that I found on the show to be on this interesting sort of spectrum for me. It could be interesting in a good way, it could be interesting in a bad way, and in between. So let's get to Hannah and Nick. Hannah is 27. She used to be in medical device sales because, according to her, she quit her job to be on the show. Like, you quit your job, or did your boss not tell you you can take off these many weeks? I'm just saying. Nick is a real estate agent, so he pretty much works for himself, and he sets his own hours because he's a real estate agent, so he could like take off for a few weeks for the show and then get back on the horse for his job. I mean, both of them hopefully had some sort of like savings to fall back on, in case they both don't like for Nick, he doesn't like sell a house immediately after getting back into his work routine, his work pattern. And for Hannah, what if she doesn't get like her job back immediately, and or takes a longer time to actually get a job elsewhere. Anyhow, Hannah is like, she says she was a cheerleader in high school. Nick had played sports also, I think high school and or college, I'm not sure, I can't recall now, but he played sports. Anywho, Hannah, she struck me as she had this confidence about her, but there was something lingering like beneath the surface, like almost like a mean girl vibe. And that's just me. I'm just saying, you guys watch, the episodes that are available. You don't have to take my word for it. Go ham on watching the videos that are available. But for me, Hannah had this mean girl streak, almost like a insidious sort of mean girl persona in her. She reminds me a little bit, and I could be wrong about this. Do you guys recall Irina? Irina was like BFFs with Micah, who is also another mean girl. Um, Love is Blind season 4. I think it was season 4. Um, she Irina didn't think there was gonna be any chemistry between her and Zach, and thankfully Zach came to the realization early on and is now happily married with Bliss, and also from the pods, and they have a cutesy little baby, so happy for them. Anyway, back to Hannah and Nick. I know we're like, girl, where are you taking us? Anyway, so for Hannah, I felt like she had this like insecurity that she was trying to mask, and honestly it was kind of getting annoying. So Nick isn't like a saint either. He sounded like somebody who always had an answer for everything, like a quick answer, like something that would make you feel relatable, or him relatable to whatever subject that you're like presenting to him. Could be annoying. It just kind of struck you as what is that guy's name from, oh, Sam from Love is Blind UK. Like he has to always be agreeable. He's like cool. He presents to be down to earth. He just presents to be somebody who's genuinely all around an affable person. Is that really Nick? Oh no, that's just how he presents on TV. Okay. And again, you also get the hint of, is he an F boy? Yeah, he really does strike me as somebody who could comfortably be like Sam from Love is Blind UK. Anyhow, back to Hannah. She also strikes me as like low-key pick me girl. Like what is that girl's name? Shoot, season 5, I think it was. She was with AD. She wasn't picked, but then she was picked during the show, like after the fiancés had like not a breakup, but broke up because of her. What the heck? Sarah somebody, Sarah Ann, something like that. Yeah, and her boo thing, Jeremy. Yeah. Anywho, uh, I just felt like Hannah, back to Hannah. She broke up with Leo, and I don't know. Maybe she felt like because she was tossing back and forth between Nick and Leo, and for a second there, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give you some grace because she seemed like she was really trying to turn the corner and like lean away from Nick because Nick and Leo were like, I guess, her two top dates. And she even had scenes with Nick where she told Nick, you know what, you're just not it. I feel like, you're putting on a front. I feel like there's this facade about you that, what is really underneath the surface, right? And he could very well say the same about her. She also mentioned to him that she felt that he, in so few words, would be judgy about her appearance. And although he tried to reassure her that this would not be the case, she still felt like in that moment this may be true. So she just told him, you know what, go and give some time to your other connections and things like that. And then when she comes back to the pod, she's like, you know what, maybe he is the strongest of the two top dates that I have. And she comes back to him anyway. I mean, she wasn't groveling, but I guess she was. I mean, groveling but not groveling. Yeah, does that make sense? And I'm like, girl, so you wanted to, like, in my mind when I saw that in the episode, I'm like, so you wanted to see if he was going to stick around and still fight for you. Like, you wanted that affirmation that he really felt a stronger connection to you. Why didn't you just say that? I mean, what is up with the dramatic antic? All of the other ladies in the pods were like already giving you their advice because obviously they have had interactions with Nick as, dates and what have you. And you were asking them for advice, so they were giving you advice, and it's like, why ask for the advice though when your mind was already set? Like, you were doing a comparison in your head, but you wanted to hear it in a different voice. Anyway, I can't. So also Hannah feels like being judged would just, shatter her like self-esteem, but then she's also very judgy. So, girl, I can't with you. It's just, spoiler alert, she's not also a funny, a fun, how should I put it? She won't really try goofy fun things to do, such as, going on a duck ride, like an inflatable duck ride, or yeah. Yeah. OMG. Like, you're just coming out of the pods. You're trying to get to know, like, in this vacuum, you're trying to get to know your fiance, your partner, or whatever, which at this point is Nick, because they got engaged and things like that. And they're in Mexico, but it's like she's slowly siphoning the air out of this balloon that they're in. Like, girl, if you're not really feeling like this is the guy that you should be with, I think, and I really don't know what's in their contract that makes them stay, even though in their heart of hearts this is really not going to work out for me. And she also said that like she felt Nick had presented himself to be somebody otherwise from the physical appearance that she sees him as. And it's like, I recall him saying he's tall and he's done sports and being somewhat like physically fit. And I recall again Hannah speaking about her insecurities about her size, her appearance now. So is that her just projecting her insecurity onto him? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah. I also felt like, mm, could they have gone a little bit deeper in their conversation? Sure. It just, I don't know what it is. It just seems like they're kind of grasping for like subjects to speak about when you already know that this is a hyper vacuum sort of dating show. So you should already have questions to ask, like, apart from the proverbial what's your name, what do you prefer to do on a date, things like that. I mean, this is a show that is built on the premise of dating sight unseen and then getting married, basically. So the getting married part, I think people forget. You gotta ask these questions. I'm just saying. And I don't know why this goes for both the men and the male and female contestants. Like, they have to be open to all layers of personalities of their fiancés, the potential fiancés, or the people that they're dating in the pods, because every individual has a lot of layers to their personalities. There's going to be goofy people who are also like introverted and maybe have a splash of like outgoing in there somewhere. Everybody has multiple layers to them. I mean, there's some people that really are just basically you have to like wind them up, to get them to do something. But for the most part, really, people have multiple layers to them. So we need to be accepting of that. Or let's just date ourselves, okay? And be alone. Hello. Um, I also didn't really care for Hannah's description of like her husband or her potential husband's physique. Uh, I don't mean to be mean, but between the two of you guys, he is more physically fit than you are. So commenting on the attractiveness level of your fiance slash husband or what have you, to me, it just literally washed away all of the grace I was trying to leave for her. Because it's like, do you own a mirror, girl? I will leave it at that. Do you own a mirror? Serious. My Lord. It's like the immaturity and like rude things that she does. It's ooh. And I really thought Nick was going to be like the shallow and like, the more offensive one or whatever. But shikes. Cheese nuts. It's like she makes it a point to cut him down. Like, what? Why? It's almost like she's whiny. So she reminds me of, what is that girl's name? Chelsea, also from Love Is Blind. A mean girl like Arena, also from Love Is Blind. And then what is that? What's Freddy's fiance from Love Is Blind? Katherine. Like that. I, it's the vacillating between being the nice one, but really showing us the opposite. So just when she insinuated that like Nick is the arrogant one, while subsequently telling us that she only bags, she only dates jocks and the prettiest men in the room. And it's like, um, okay, you know what? Yeah, 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 yeah. I can't. I can't. And I hope that Hannah doesn't ever encounter any more duck races, even though if it's it's largely for fun, because she might have a full blown like just yeah. Oosh, 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 oosh. Oh, do I see them going the distance? I don't. I really don't. I don't think that she will give an inch. She would budge an inch. I don't think she would want to do some sort of introspection. And I hope she does. And I hope he does too. I mean, he has his faults as well. But it's almost like Hannah is just being domineering towards him. Like, almost, it's almost leaning towards more of a Catherine that, what do you call this? To Freddy was. Like Catherine from Love is Blind UK, where he couldn't be his goofy self. If he cracked a joke, she would take it to a different level versus just like, writing it out or just like letting him be goofy or being goofy with him. But for her, it's like, no, you have to be prim and proper at all times, or you can only be goofy when I allow you to be goofy. That's how Catherine came off to me as. And Hannah is coming off to me in a similar way as, with respect to how she interacts with her fiance Nick. So, ooh, 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 ooh. Mm-mm-mm. I'm just telling you, it's the people who call out very early on, the quote unquote shallow people fixated on looks and not taking the time to uh, get to know the person underneath the looks. I always have to like side eye them. And it's like, but you gotta leave grace. Just saying. I do say leave grace for others, but you just doused that with like ice cold Arctic water, washed away. Chase nets, girl. Anywho, darlings. So I'm sorry about the spoilers, but I shall talk to you all later. I will watch the other episodes, and again, it's not gonna be a play-by-play, but it's just the people that I thought was like, honestly, get it together. Anywho, I will talk to you all fabulous people later. Stay fabulous, because that's all you can do. Because, duh, what else are you going to do? You are all kinds of fabulous. Also, again, leave grace for others. Even though, Hannah's on my last nerves. And remember to journey and gratitude, my darling dears. I shall see you all on the next round. Toodaloo for now. Bye.